Oh my gosh, it's May! It's May! What's up? What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh. Yes, I didn't cue this up specifically for May. I just have it. I have it on deck, ready to go. It's there for when we need it, which is basically always. Hey, everybody. How's it going? How's it going? Who we got here? Let's see. Emily, what's up? ARR, what's up? Yo soy muerto. Hello, hello. Sammy, what's up? And then we've got Corey. Hi, diddly ho to you, Corey. What's going on, everybody? I don't know about you guys. May not have even happened. It's been so fast. Jacques, Hilda Jacques is here. Hi. Hasn't it just flown by? Is it just me? Maybe it's just on my end because I put out the three Miss Cryptids, and it, when you work on stuff like that nonstop, time goes by a little quicker. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's almost June. It's almost time to go to L.A. L.A. Oh man, I'm hoping to get a lot of good stuff out of that when I go take a recorder and talk to people and figure out if I get enough to put out an episode with it, or to, I don't know, make an extra sode, or just throw it in the trash. I don't know. Who knows what we're gonna get out there. Yeah, it has. Well, I think it's probably especially flown by a lot for you, Muerto, because Obscure Anomalies probably took up a lot of your time getting that launched. Believe me, I know. I know the launch of a podcast can eat up some days. So, congrats, by the way. No talk of who won last week for Miss Cryptid. Okay, good call. Yes, there should be some ground rules. And I think AR even laid down like no Game of Thrones spoilers, no Endgame spoilers, Muerto, no spoilers for Miss Cryptid. So because people, it just came out, like a couple hours ago. So I don't think everybody's gotten a chance to listen. And I realized like as I was typing out the post for the episode, I almost put in there like. Well, I almost put who was going to be joining the first week's winner, and then I was like, I shouldn't name any winners in this. I think I have along the line somewhere, which is dumb, but that's totally spoiling it if anybody reads that before they get to listen to it. But yeah, I managed to catch for that post at least. So so much time, especially the editing. Yeah, believe me, I know. Didn't realize Miss. Yeah, it just came out. I was hoping to get it out last night, and kind of took a little more time to just put together, but I didn't want to rush it out. I mean, it didn't stop me from being up till 4 working on it, but then I got up and popped it out today. So yeah, it's out there. It's ready to go. A half an hour of cryptid goodness for you. There's some fun ones this week. I actually think, I mean, this might taint it for you guys, but I think this has been my favorite week of contestants this year. I really like the ones this week. Let's see, 3, yeah, 3. If I spoil Endgame, you can spoil Thrones, but I will not. Quiz, bang, bang spoilers. Look at you, Corey. Look at you just sliding that right on in there. That's right, quiz, bang. Hello. Um, so you guys have been into that. You guys have really helped us a lot. I mean, I don't know if all of you guys have checked it out yet or not, or even know what I'm talking about. But it's really helped out um, to get Quiz Bang up and flying in the air. It's been really cool. Now we're on fire. That's a picture of Annie. So no spoilers. The answers are C, Donkey, and Shrek. He said no spoilers. He said no spoilers. Do I have a tisk? No, I've got this. No spoilers. Come on. This is Muerto right now. Oh, thank you, Sammy. Quiz Bang is amazing. I appreciate that. I'm glad. I don't know. Like, I feel like trivia is one of those things where a lot of people are like, yeah, it's fun to like test knowledge, and you know, the Trivial Pursuit's been around for so long. Like they have more editions than most people have ages. That makes sense. But I, it's hard to tell. Like, you don't just go up to somebody and are like, "Hey, do you like trivia?" I ran in a Barnes and Noble bookstore, and I heard somebody being talking to their significant other and being like, "Oh yeah, you'd like it because it's trivia, blah blah blah." And I almost stuck my head around the corner and was like, "If you like trivia," and I was like, "No, that would be creepy. That would be super creepy. They would not be listeners at that point." I love daily quiz on Insta and Facebook quiz. Yeah, listen, Jack, I do too. The only reason I don't love trivia games may be no good at them, but I love them all the same. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, if it were bowling, I'm terrible at, and it frustrates me, so I hate it, and therefore I don't bowl. I used to bowl. I used to go bowling here and there, but trivia, like I I would say I'm like 50 to 70% on like getting questions right, but it doesn't frustrate me. I mean, it's frustrating to get something wrong or think you know something and be like, "What?" But it's still fun. So I'm glad other people are like that as well. Do you Photoshop them or actually set up and shoot with a little touch up? The latter. That we set them up. We Annie will build the figure. It's all Annie. It's not really me. I'll hold a light, excuse me, here or there, but Annie will construct a background for them, all out of Legos. Like, you know how I do, like I do the minifigs, and put them in a background. Like, I would throw one sitting in the chair back here, you know, and that's what I do. So like, I'm all about the badly Photoshop stuff, but Annie like puts them together with a background and really makes them up and everything, and like it's 100% Lego for that. And then there might be a little touch up here or there if there's a lighting or some kind of weird color issue or something like that. But yeah, it's mostly just straight up point and shoot. Do you have a frequent customer discount at the local Lego shop? Boy, I wish. You know, there's so many places that sell Legos. There's not really a good. I can't make a relationship with anybody, and they're mostly big box places. But I wish there were. We are VIP members on Lego.com. We just bought the Stranger Things set, which is awesome. But we got. I think we had enough points on there where it helped out a little bit, um, but I think they came out with the Disney, the second version of their Disney minifigures just a month ago, and Annie and I stood in Target for a good half an hour to 45 minutes, like feeling the bags to make sure we got all the ones we wanted. So that's what we'll do. I'm pretty adept at feeling out those blind bags and knowing what I'm getting. I don't I don't like wasting money on mysteries. We're huge Lego fans, so it adds to the charm. That's great. That's good. yeah, because uh, it's a weird world, the trivia world. We're finding out because we're just doing it, for fun, and if people like it, and want to join in and stuff, we love it. But like, there's a real like intense world. I guess just like anything, there are people that take it really seriously, and there's like clicky stuff going on with it, and like secret clubs to join, and things like that. And we're just like, we just want to ask questions and answers and have our friends on some, and just dick around. It's not that big a deal. So the point of me saying this is that there's not a lot of presence on social media for trivia stuff, and especially marrying that and Lego. So there's plenty of Lego stuff, and it's funny, we're kind of like trying to tap into that to get people to notice some things, and we're doing that before we even try to hit up like actual trivia groups and things like that. So it's all kind of like we're figuring it out and just for fun. So, but I'm glad to hear you guys like it. That's the most important part. Yeah, unless you were in Disney for the Lego store. Your knowledge must be a side effect of a certain podcast that explores the explains the unexplored. There have been things that that this has helped with, and it's weird. Like, it'll be like geography, and I can't even think of a good example, but like it's probably like places where weird cryptids are, um, or maybe there. Very few people like to go into the folklore in trivia, which I think is just like an untapped gold mine for fun trivia questions. That's why I try to throw in some stuff. I think I had a werewolf question and poltergeist. I'm going to try and incorporate that stuff into the trivia. But yeah, like the stuff I've learned on Blurry Photos has come in handy a few times in weird ways. It's pretty fun. There's something about podcasters and Legos. Well, something about podcasters and Legos in this house. Lego trivia. There is plenty of Lego trivia that I'm sure we could come up with. Lego almost went under, like in the 90s. Also, they started out making wooden blocks, like wooden toy blocks, and it was like learning stuff for kids. And they decided to try like a building set, and that actually became popular, and then that kind of evolved into Lego. Flora, something's wrong with the sound. Okay. Maybe refresh. Everybody's saying, well, okay, back. Okay, good. Yeah. If anything ever happens with this stuff, please let me know. I still want to make sure I've got everything right on my end. Which it says so far the stream's good, so that's good. I'm glad it came back. Okay. And don't forget the fire. Muerto, what is that? Is that about? Is that something? Are you replying to AR? That almost did it. If not, destroy the fire. Oh, the fire, the Lego. Yeah, right. Yeah. That almost, if not, did destroy the factor. That's right. Yeah, Legos. They had a bad fire. Yeah, I think that was a pretty bad time for them. But and that was on the. There's a documentary that's about Lego, that's out there. So, plenty of cool stuff on there. Plenty of stuff with everything. We're trying to like think of theme weeks, and tie into stuff that's going on in the world, and that's why we just did Game of Thrones stuff, because obviously, and then Aladdin coming out this weekend. We decided to do a Disney week. It's so easy to throw up these themes for stuff. Um, so yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's good to hear that you guys like it. And of course, if you got any suggestions, I'm willing to hear them. We've experimented here and there, and there's a couple things I have in mind to maybe change. But if you guys think it's flying all right as is, then we'll just keep on ahead. Blue Devil Genie. We've got the Genie minifig, but I think we're gonna do a Jafar question coming up for this week. But Disney trivia, right? Like that's another thing where there's so much stuff. That was a good watch. I'm guessing you mean the documentary. Sorry, I'm jumping around the chat. I'm like, oh, did you see Aladdin? Because I haven't heard anybody say that. I actually heard that some people enjoyed it and they didn't think Will Smith was as bad as they thought he would be, but we'll see. I'm sure we'll see it sometime and have just raging opinions about it. It was weird hearing Annie. Oh. Yeah, that she exists and that she's not just my Canadian girlfriend, or that I just made you all believe. Pa! I am married. I have a wife. Always remember this. What else? What else can I get you all to do? Bark, 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 bark. What else is new? What else is going on? Of course, Miss Cryptid. You guys enjoying? You guys enjoying Miss Cryptid? I'm a chicken. I love that. When you wake up, you will be a chicken. I'm a chicken. That's pretty great. I have to give Will the benefit of the doubt. He'll never live up to Robin. No, yeah. I mean, there's always that. There's always that. That's shoes that can never be filled. I'm excited to get my new shirt with a new logo. Yeah. What do you guys think? You guys, of course, I showed it to you all last month, I believe. Yeah, just went on and got him out there. I really dig it. I like the logo. I think it's pretty slick. The one thing I don't care for is that it gets dark when it gets small. So like on my screen right now, I see my profile pic for YouTube, and it's like this big. It's very small, and it just sort of looks like a black dot with some squiggles in it. That was the one thing about. Excuse me, just too much bourbon. That's the one thing about the Bat Squatch. He showed up easily in dark places. Has there ever been a battle of the Cryptid champs? That is a great question. No, there hasn't. And I actually have been thinking of doing something like that. And no joke. I had thought of like going back to old episodes, taking the winners, like the section that we did on the winners, and doing one like episode on them, and having like a Royal Rumble, and then having people vote on who their favorite or who the best is, and then have like an ultimate champion right now, and doing that like, I don't know, in the fall or something, like halfway to next May, and have the winner win a T-shirt or something like that. Yeah, like Miss Cryptid All Stars, exactly. Yeah, so I, no joke, I have considered doing something like that. New logo is going to be awesome. Yeah, I think so. Ordered shirt, should have it shortly. That's great. Awesome. Thank you. I was checking the site every week. Can I show it again? Yeah. Let me see. I'll see if I can pull it up on my phone here. Crossover with Secret Transmission for for the Miss Cryptid All Stars. I don't know. I don't know that one. See, that one's like a clip show at that point. Like I would basically set it up, go through like all 7 winners, like all 7, and of course, like it's gonna be with Dave for the majority of it, and then it's like a 7-person Royal Rumble. Like you guys have to vote between 7 choices, which is kind of crazy on one hand, but on the other hand, like I can't really split it up because it would take forever. Nobody's got the attention span for that. First of all, this guy, but I mean, if you guys think that's a fun idea, I'm like I said, it's already been in my mind, so I don't mind doing it. And saying that, and I'm pulling up this for you again, but also speaking of which, I'm thinking about, and you guys tell me if this sounds stupid or not, but I'm thinking about for this coming week, or maybe even like a week from today or something. I'm thinking of putting out just a short episode. Like, here's what I'm thinking. I will take the winners of each week from this year and put them all into one episode, so that it's like a review, so you can hear all 3 again, and then you can vote on which one you want to win it all. And I would probably announce at the beginning of that episode. I would have to announce at the beginning of that episode who won week 3, and then you would hear all 3 winners, and then take that next week to vote on who the top winner is. What do you guys think of that? Because we've never done something like that, and I always wondered if there was some kind of like the cryptid that went last had an advantage because it was fresh in your mind. You know what I mean? I don't know if that actually has ever come through. If that's ever happened, because like Bat Squatch, no, he was like our first cryptid ever on the contest, and I think Jeff was like a week 2 thing. So I don't think that I'm shooting down my own theory, but you know what I mean. Let me go back through. I got to catch up on the chat here. Run it through the battle simulator. That's with the secret transmission. That'd be fun. Well, yeah, I could always just do that. We could just do it for fun. Yes, love it. Okay. Also, am I wrong for wanting a double baby bodysuit for my unborn child? Hey, congratulations, by the way. I think you should get one. Because they have them on Threadless. There are like full baby suits, whatever the F they're called, and then there's like the sleeveless or the half ones, and there's T-shirts, and there's all kinds of baby stuff on there. So hey, go for it. That's what I say. Need to convince my wife. Well, I'll tell you how to do it. Buy it and show it to her. Boom, done. Convinced. Where is this stupid picture at? I'm looking for it, you guys. I'm trying to find it. What I could do. What am I doing? I got it on my email signature. So if it actually shows up, then let's see what else. We support you, or a competition of the runner-ups. Give the second place winners a second chance. Yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. That would I would obviously have to go back through and find them all. And I should still have those surveys available. There he is. Let's see if that. Let's see look. The blue screen is acting on his purpleness. That's pretty great. Yeah, that's him. I finagled it a little bit with. Oh, there we go. That's almost there. It's almost. Why is it taking away the background? I guess this is part of the light. Anyway, did I show you guys him in red? The guy sent me the Horseman in red first, which is pretty fun. Oh, this is. I don't know if I have him on there, but it looks cool. It still looks cool. Like the red is really nice, but I'm just not a big fan of red, and like the show colors being like red and gray. Mm. But I'm thinking I'll put him up in the store anyway, and you know, uh, let people have what they want to have. If they want a red one, who cares? Get a red one. Miss Cryptid Talent Competition. I like it for sometimes I need a refresher. So that's for that's for this year's, yeah. With more info on each. With more info, are you talking about the Royal Rumble of cryptids, or like this, or like the refresher? Cause short answer, probably not. Just to help take the work off, because I would want it to be just like I said, kind of a clip show where I just take what has already been made and pow, 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 and get it done. That seems cool. In that case, for the last one, maybe do the weeks in reverse order for the review. So I would do week 3, then week 2, then week 1 for a refresher. That could do it. Maybe Hoover. Well, Hoover's a winner, so he'll be in the Rumble if we do it. After you hear that sound clip, you can't think of anyone else. You know, that's a sound I should get on the Stream Deck. That's what I should pull up in the sound effects, right? Like, how do I not have him in there? Also, where did I put my stupid ass sound effects? Here they are. Yeah.
What? Come on! What? Damn it!
Yeah. Hoover needs to be on here for sure. I think I've actually got that if it's still up. Let's see. Looks cool with the Invisible Rider. Yeah, he's got the cloak of invisibility on. Please do. Maybe you can use it for limited edition Christmas T-shirts. That's a good idea. Yeah. See, I also want to, because one thing I liked about the Bat Squatch, you know what? I think I got rid of Hoover. I had Hoover pulled up on the like I had him like in the list of web pages I had visited, so I could just pull up that sound when I needed to. But I think it stopped working somehow or another. Womp womp. One of the things I liked about the Basquatch was that I could put holiday stuff on him, and sometimes I didn't get to it, obviously, but we'll see. Maybe I'm sure I can still do it for the rider. I can put a Santa hat on him, or bunny ears, or maybe like July 4th, I can put a American flag with next to the mic or something that he's holding. Let's see. With more information on each winner, probably too much. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. If there were more info, I would have already included. I mean, unless something big has come out, or there's been a couple stories, but yeah, I'd probably just put it in there as is. Play it when it's time for us to go. I'm just happy to be able to rock the original with the newest logo. Still need to get Basquatch. Yeah, so Yeah, and you got Muerto got a Black Flag, that was our first shirt run that we did. So that's pretty fun. And Bat Squatch isn't going away. Like the fun thing about it is like he is still on koozies. He's still on the mugs, the few mugs that I've got left. Um, so he's obviously I'm not taking anything out of the shop. Uh, Also, I'm gonna be getting that. You guys remember the tattoo that I showed last month? The banshee with the tarot cards and stuff flying around. Like the one I really like wanted to have as the logo, but it was just too long. It didn't fit in a profile. Like that one's gonna be uh, a T-shirt for sure. Art for that stuff. You missed last month's Muerto. It's still like you can still follow the link and watch it. I mean, I know you probably have not a lot of time these days, but it's still there to watch. That's the beauty of these things. You can always watch ones that you missed, or just put it up in the background or whatever. Like you got the link; it'll be up there as long as I've got a YouTube channel. Which if it's up to YouTube, that won't be much longer. But fireworks around the logo for the 4th of July. That's a good idea. Yeah, he's already got the little sparks underneath. Fireworks would be great. Of course, shades. I'm sure I could put some aviators on him. The only things I could think of for the winners would be if you could interview other podcasts that have covered him. There's lots on Jeff. Yeah, maybe. Or like get like an actual person from the Isle of Man, or like or just a British person. Sammy could come up with another story for Drop Bears. That'd be great. Tattoo design was amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I love that. I love that design. Bookmarks are good for the too long logos. That's a great idea. Yeah, that would go on a bookmark easily. I think. Yeah, that'd be great. It's going to make a great shirt too. Like that's the thing. I'm definitely I'll be getting one myself of that. I'll tell you what. Muerto. I'll see if I can find that. I should have that in the email as well. I don't have it. See, it's all kind of on the well, it's all on the laptop that I'm using, so I can't do it without a mirror, which I don't have with me. I should have her on here somewhere. So give me a second. I'll let that pull up. I should get the new logo as a tattoo. Stop twisting my arm. I mean, I got it from a tattoo artist. I had a girl from Venezuela do it from Fiverr. Do it on Fiverr. So I'm just saying, it's already tattoo material. So all right, I think I found it here. Actually, I found all the ones. I showed you guys the 4 that I was choosing between, right? When they're 4, or was I just like, oh, here's a few, blah blah blah. Where is it? It's got to pull up. Come on. It's a big file, so maybe it doesn't want to. Maybe it doesn't want to pull. Oh nope. Is this it? Shoot. I'm working on it. It's working. It's trying. I think. It's a big one. The official BP fan club tattoo. I don't know, man. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I'm halfway proud of it. I like sketched it out. I'll show you guys. Okay, she's pulling up. So, I think unable to down. What are you trying to download? I'm not downloading that. The tattoo. I'm trying to position it so it's Look, the little death guy, the little ghost reaper guy is invisible. He's a dark blue. That's why. Yeah. So this is the tattoo logo idea that I had. Pretty fun. I like the colors in it a lot. But I'll show you what I sketched for the guy. I think I've got it. I was like, I would like. This is awful. This is what I sent him, or I'm sorry, this is what I sent her as a sketch. I was like, I want it to be like a scary banshee with all this stuff around it and blah blah blah. Look at that hair! Oh my gosh! Give us a kiss, eh? Actually, I mean, I love what she did with it, but at the same time, I kind of wanted some wild banshee hair in there because it's a banshee. But I mean, she's kind of rockabilly with this, which is all right. I'll take it. Oh. Pretty cool. Still better than the Alabama leprechaun. Barely. Barely better. Bad hair day. Bad hair life. You should do your own artwork. A lot of times I do, but I wanted it to be a little refined on this one. Is that the Alba store? Yeah, pretty much. He's making keys. Oh, he's give us keys. He's don't look at hair. All pictures are better than a leprechaun drawing. I mean, eye of the beholder. Come on, what are you doing? Let's go. I'm trying to get these other logos, and I think the Banshee ate everything. Nope, here we go. Okay, don't need to blame her. I'll have that voice goes well with the mustache. No, do not make it fun. So that was the shield. I don't know if I showed you guys that, but that's, of course, all these are going to eventually go on a shirt. I'm just going to release them staggered, but that was a shield idea that I had. Can you see it very well? It's hard to do it without getting the glare and the invisibility, but this was my original idea, and I wanted something that incorporated a little of everything, kind of touch on the stuff that the podcast covers and stuff. And the dude that does Monster, what is it called? Oh shoot! Hang on, I've got some of his work. I forget what is his site. It's like Monster. It's not Monsterpedia. It's something. A dude that does art for stuff like this. He does patches. Like here's one that he's done. That's not There's not a whole lot to that. But here's a Krampus one, which is great. And then he had an enamel pin of that too. It's just such a great one. And he did that art. Well, he's got other like shield designs, and they're like Ghost Patrol and like Sasquatch Hunters Union. Like it's a bunch of different little shield logos for these things. And I really love his art. And I contacted him. I met him in Point Pleasant, and I got his card. I contacted him and was like, "Hey, would you be willing to design a logo for me?" And I think this was back like last January, like a year and a half ago. And he's like, "Yeah, I can do it. What do you have in mind?" And I said, "Well, I want, like, I love your designs for your shield work. I want one in that style that has, the different things that I cover in my podcast in there." And he came back and he's like, and I said the only thing I don't want is for anything to be, um, anything to have anything to do with pictures or photos or cameras, because I get people like coming to me asking camera questions because they think this is like a photography site, and I'm like, I don't want that. And he comes back and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do that." Like he's like, uh, I don't want to do a design that I might use for myself in the future. So I don't want to design you one of these shield logos. I'm thinking I need to give you. It needs to be like a camera with a lens, and I'm like, all right, bye. Like, you're not gonna do the thing I want, and you ignored the thing I just said I didn't want. So, man, oh man. So yeah, swing and a miss on that, but I still think his art is pretty great. Shield would make a great patch. Yeah, yeah. I need to figure out how to make like uh, pins and patches and stuff. The hard thing is getting from trying to do it a while ago. It's like they only allow a certain number of colors or something. But the patch I think only has 3 colors, so that should theoretically would make a good patch. Shield's cool, yeah. Sandhill Crane logo. That would have been smart. Yeah, not the dragon. It should have been a Sandhill Crane. Never mind. I'll make it mine. Yeah, go for it. Picture of a Sandhill Crane with a cross over it. After all, only cryptic is a Sandhill Crane. Only cryptid. I collect cryptid patches, so I would love some BP stuff. Yeah, if I can figure out how to get the stuff on patches without it costing like an arm and a leg, I will definitely get that going. It doesn't help if you look up blurry photos. You get Jason Lee's photo site. That's blurryphotos.com, right? Like, yeah, I don't know that dude, and I don't know if he actually is still active in whatever he's doing. Um, but that's why I couldn't get blurryphotos.com, because it's like a surfer dude's photography site. Car decals. So Corey, I tried not too long ago to get Bat Squatch, which is like just a white image in a car decal from Sticker Mule, and they straight up were like, "No, we won't do that." And I'm like, "Why? Like, what's so bad about it?" But they just wouldn't do it, and it was weird, and I don't know why. Sometimes they have been weird a couple times, but like they're who I go to mostly to get like stickers and pins and stuff, because they run just amazing deals on them. Um, so Muerto, sign up for the mailing list on Sticker Mule, because that's where you get your stuff. You'll get like 50 things for $20 or something. Um, D-bag. I'm guessing you're talking about that artist. I mean, I was I was kind of like really deflated after that. It was a very depressive thing. But Busy Beaver buttons, they're too expensive, man. Like I looked up trying to get their stuff, and they are pretty expensive. Sticker Mule has much better options. In fact, I've got some of the new logo coming in pin form soon, and I've already gotten some die cut stickers of them. So yeah, I'll be I'm gonna start like looking for those deals. I want to get some magnets. I'll tell you guys what. Speaking of Corey, speaking of car decals, I took a Bat Squatch magnet, because they did a die cut magnet, and it's like 3x3. It's like this big. I took that and slapped it on the back of my car, and it works perfect. It hasn't gone anywhere. It shows up. It's just a little thin magnet, and it works great. So That's what I'm going to go for. I also got to I also got to figure out a way to like do something to start sending stickers and pins and stuff out to people because I've never done that, and people need stickers. And why am I burping so much? Oh my gosh, there's a pin site like a sticker mule too. Oh really? Is it? Oh, are there enamel pins? Because that's the thing that I think are pretty badass. I want an enamel pin of the new logo. I think that'd be awesome. I think he's no longer really acting. Oh, Jason Lee. Oh, that Jason Lee? Really? That's who that site is? That's weird. Does Cards Against Humanity have any hookups with any merch people? They seem to be involved in everything nowadays. You would think so, but they Cards is weird because they used to be a little more hands on with the co-op stuff, but they lost the person that like started out doing everything, like making sure people got paid, making sure a person who basically got kind of like thrown into the role took it on and was just awful at it. And because I didn't get paid for like 6 months at one point, and it was just a mess. And thankfully they've got that sort of sorted out now, but they are not very responsive to stuff. They don't do meetups anymore. They're like as minimally connected to it now as they could be. So I'm sure I could probably reach out and see if anybody knew, but I would guess they're going to be like, I don't know, because it's a bunch of Chicago improvisers running things, and I know that from experience. I love the stickers you send. Oh, good, Muerto. Did I enamel pins? Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely send me the info for that. I would love to get enamel pins. I think they're so cool. I just showed you that Krampus one. It was awesome. I want to get some on my own. Stickers are great. I also have good and bad news. So bad news. I didn't have time to put together a weekly weird news or a month whatever I call it, weird news tonight. This month because I've been working on the Miscrypted, so I don't have a news segment tonight. But I did pick up a new book, Ghost, Werewolves, Witches, and Vampires. Ghost, Werewolves, Witches, and Vampires. That's the way the song goes. Music major. So this has got some good stories, I think. So I'll read a couple of those tonight, but no news segment. Sorry. That's it. We're done. Yep, we're out. I come to Blurry Photos live streams for the month's news, and if there is no news on the live stream, good day, sir. I said good day. Oh boy. Anyways, merch and stuff, right? What else is going on? What are you guys? What are you guys thinking about? What else has been happening? Have you ever voiced audiobooks, Jack? That's a great question, and the answer is no. But there is a way to like get on Audible and like start doing like I think they have a program to where you can like start recording books, and then like if you do well, or like if people this is a very somebody I know did it, and they would record like I think they recorded like a textbook or something like low level, and then something about if you perform well, if your book gets picked up a lot, or I don't know, rated well, something like that, that you might get more and more and more. I don't know if you'll get like Game of Thrones ever, because they probably hire professional people to do that. And obviously, have big name actors do some of those, but I have thought about dipping my toe in there, and I probably should like get on that. Probably should, just to make some money to help pay bills. But that's a good question. What else? Let's see. Feels my the Bullstone Void. Yeah, you know, a lot of people hate Bullstone. You guys, I don't know if you know how much I get like either messages to Facebook or reviews or something that like people are like, yeah, I've listened to every single Blurry Photos minus the Bullstones, and I'm like, what's wrong with the Bullstones? Some people just don't like the news format and us discussing. I thought there's some funny stuff that we came up with here and there, but you would be good at that. Well, thank you. I would like to try it. I would, and maybe this summer, maybe that could be something I do get going on. Can I float an idea? AR, you can float as many ideas as you want. Please do. That's all. That's it. Yes. The answer is yes. I actually just bought an Audible book because the voice actor, not necessarily material. Well, that's fun. You know, I don't know if you are a fan or have read or listened, but A Confederacy of Dunces is a lot of fun on Audible. The guy that does it is good. He does different voices, and a lot of them are very fun. So I would suggest, if you like fun voice acting, give A Confederacy of Dunces a try, because that was always a fun listen. I love Bullstone so much. Yeah, I mean, it was fun to do, and it was easy to put together, and you know, a lot of it's just discussion and talking about weird stuff, and yeah, I don't know why it really irked so many people, but I like it. It introduced me to new podcasts, and it's a lot of fun to hear you chat and have fun. Yeah, and then there was that aspect where we would have guests on to do Bullstone, and then, yeah, oh well. British books with your accents. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Could you imagine Great Expectations, or like Tale of Two Cities, but like, it were the best of times, it were the worst of times. Yeah, maybe I should just do my own. Maybe I'll just pick like public domain stuff and just be awful with it. Be awful. Oh, Pip, I've got such great expectations for you. Next Audible grab. Well, before you had a news section, I was going to suggest a section called Tabitha Investigates, doing sort of the same kind of news items. It's fun. Yeah, I'll have to I'll have to dig out a different wig and get a blouse, and then yeah. Did you all know? Did y'all hear about this face recognition stuff? They want to recognize your face on Facebook, and that's coming full circle. I'd listen to that British accent books. Yeah, you would listen to 5 minutes of it, and then you'd be like, I get it. That's all. Sherlock is safe, yeah. Annie just listened to the whole Sherlock series on Audible, so... Oh boy. Sherlock would be high on the old Firth Van Dyke scale. Then I could just make Watson a dumbass. He could be the Cockney guy. So get at it, yeah. I've thought about that. I've thought about like Lovecraft stuff. I think is too, maybe. I think, but I've thought about like reading classic stuff and just putting them up on sites. I don't know. There's got to be some way to make money from that, right? New podcast idea. That's what I need. I need a new podcast. Oh boy. Your third podcast, the complete readings of Sherlock. It would be like David Does Britain. David Does Britlit. That's what it would be. Britlit with David Flora. Mr. Darcy, I ever so much loved your appearance at the ball. But everybody's cognate. Just everybody. This is written according to me. Tabitha reads Tom Sawyer. Oh boy. A dash of Russian grandmother. Well, obviously, like that would be Watson's wife, or like that would be like the old the mother in Sense and Sensibility or something like that. Oh, you must ask the vicar. What did the vicar thinks? Is he a landowner? What are we doing with my estate? You will be spinstress. Oh boy. Oh, you guys. Should we? Speaking of which, should we tap into some ghosts and vampires, and witches and werewolves? It's got it all, you guys. It's got it all. You can get spooky. Sometimes I forget I have this thing. Sometimes, and then I get sad because could read some of that. I put all these pictures on here, and I just completely forget that it's peanut butter jelly time, like all the time. But doesn't have a wardrobe. I'll tell you. You don't need a wardrobe. You just need to sit back, relax, turn on David Copperfield, as read by David Flora, and just let it take you away. Bananan, 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 ba. Ow, my freaking ears. Send for your old woman clothes and wigs. I'm not gonna say no. There I was, minding my own, and then Sherlock walks in. Let's see, what's he say? Greetings, you've been in Afghanistan, I see. I was flummoxed, I was. Oh boy. Also acceptable. What about my new ones? Corey, you can write the script. Corey, write the script, I'll read it. Sherlock Holmes, written by Corey, read by David. Oh, man. All right. Oh, yeah. Oops. Oh, no, you guys. Come back. Don't go down that tunnel. I accidentally sent you down a fucking time tunnel. I was going to show you one more thing. Hang on. Hang on, then. Hang on, love. I was going to show you. I can't remember if I showed you all 4 logos I was thinking about. I think I did, but then again, I can't remember. That's not it. The fourth logo. And by the way, I think I'm going to put the tattoo design out next. That'll be my next one. And now I can't even think of that stupid other one. I can try to do a Cockney vampire thing. Bloody, eh? Try a New Zealand vampire. New Zealand. It's just the Yeah. Want to suck your blood, mate? I gotta get one of those words where they like Oh man, I'm trying to hang on. I'll get something here. You get that steak. Put it in my hot. That's not the right word though. It's get my coffin. Don't show me the sunlight. No, I'm trying to find the right word to like exemplify the New Zealand accent. What is it? Oh my gosh. You guys know what I'm talking about. They like squeeze certain vowels. Oh, I remember what this other one was. Oh man, I can't. And you might honestly have no idea. Start with Seeks. Seeks. That's right. Sucks. Seeks. Isn't it like Don't they really like squeeze it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sherlock. New Zealand. That was the other one. This guy's super invisible, but that was kind of the first one I got, and that got me the idea thinking about the horseman. So I sketched up the horseman, sent it out. But he's got a good. I mean, he was a good contender. Let's just say that. But the horseman really took off with stuff. Let's see. Where are we? Spooky time, spooky time, spooky time, time to get spooky, pow, spooky time, spooky time. Watch out for that random water in the house. Splash. Oh, fuck me. All right. 6. Yep. Everyone check out What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah, it's fun. All right, you guys. So let's see. It's spooky time. I will say, let's see. There's witches, there's werewolves, there's vampires, there's ghosts. What do you guys think? What do you guys have time for? 2, 3, one of each? What do you think? I don't care. So it's fine for me. Everybody has a vat of acid in their basement. One vote for one of each. One vote. Ah. One of each. Werewolf witch. I wish every subject change in my life involved a musical intro. I wish, I hope I can keep that up now that you mention that. That's what it needs. Time for puns, time for puns. All right. We've got... There's an assortment, which, all right, we might do one of each. I don't know how long these are. Actually, if they get too long, we might just do a couple of few. Maybe 2 tree of them. Maybe we'll just do 3 of these. Call it a night, and then I'll go see how the Bears are doing. It's off season. The Bears aren't playing. Cubs are playing though. Well, let's just start at the beginning with witches. I don't have a witch on here, do I? That's too bad. We got... Let's go with Mother Damnable. That's the title. Mother Damnable. Are those the pumpkins? Uh-oh. Nope, don't do that. I'm going to get flagged by YouTube. I can't really play Gypsies, Trans, and Thieves or, like, Black Betty anymore because YouTube's like, hey, copyright, you're out. It's so stupid. They kicked me off my monetization because I had too many like little like, whoa, Black Betty, bam, bam, and then out. And they're like, well, you're just doing copyright stuff, so no more monetization. Need like a gong to ring if it gets too long. That's a life motto. All right. Yes, Mother Damnable. That lasts for a while, doesn't it? Keith finished his last forkful of lasagna and pushed his greasy plate off to the side. He didn't leave the table, but it wasn't out of respect for Bonnie, who was still eating, because he's a dick. It was because the sports report was about to come on the little television that sat on the end of the kitchen counter, and Keith never missed the sports report. He leaned back in his chair, lit a cigarette, and drained the last swallow of beer from the long-necked bottle that sat in front of him. He waited until the commercial break before he spoke to his wife. That frozen lasagna is pretty good. What are you eating salad for? Trying to lose a couple of pounds. Bonnie sat at the table with a book open in front of her. Reading was her dinner time distraction of choice because she needed distraction from that fucking douchebag. Keith grunted and turned back to the television. When a carpet cleaning advertisement splashed across the small screen, he turned back to Bonnie for another 30 seconds of what passed for conversation between them. What you reading? He asked. She held up the cover with its impossibly long title for Keith to see. Ghosts, werewolves, witches, and vampires too long. He squinted, and as Bonnie silently predicted, got through only a few words before he gave up. A short account of the old Indian witch, Wampa, God almighty, he complained. Is the book as long as the title? Not quite, Bonnie said dryly. And it's Wampahama. Thanks, Wampahama. Then the commercial ended, and there was no more talk between them till after Keith had been satisfactorily updated on the sport statistics. It was rare for Keith to show an interest in anything that Bonnie did, let alone maintain one. That evening, however, when he turned off the television and rose from the table, he returned to the subject of the book. What the hell are you reading about witches for, anyway? He said. Bonnie looked at him, trying to determine whether his curiosity was the least bit genuine. After a moment's assessment, she decided to give him a real answer. It's historical, she explained. Wampahama was an old native woman who died 300 years ago. It's kind of interesting because she lived right here, right where Winnipeg stands today. Winnipeg? Is this Canadian? Did I just F myself? You guys. The white settlers called her Mother Damnable. She made all sorts of predictions, so really, Bonnie shrugged casual, she was more what you might call a seer or prophet than a witch. I say potato, you say potato, Keith philosophized. And I say it's all a load of bull. Bonnie felt disgust that was directed at both Keith and herself. What did I expect, telling that to him, she chastised herself. Keith was not known for his open mind. She knew better than to argue with him on such points, though, so when she responded, she kept her voice mild. Come on, Keith. Don't you think it's possible to know things through, I don't know, a sixth sense? Don't you believe even a little bit in intuition? Keith jabbed his finger dramatically in the direction of his eyes. I believe half what I see, he said, and none of what I hear. Looking satisfied at having made his point, he left the kitchen. There was the familiar slow burn, the simmering anger just beneath Bonnie's skin, and it was not due solely to Keith's quick dismissal of her ideas. I know something about you, she thought at him. I haven't seen it, I haven't heard it, and I can't prove a thing yet, but I know. She could have said those things aloud, but she chose not to. Instead, she returned to reading and pushed the remainder of her salad aside. She no longer had an appetite. About an hour later, Bonnie was drying the last of the supper dishes when Keith walked into the kitchen. He dropped his canvas equipment bag by the back door with a thud. "Are you playing hockey tonight?" These people are Canadian, Bonnie asked. She managed to keep her voice light and casual, but she held her breath as she waited for a reply. "It's Wednesday, ain't it?" said Keith, which told her all she needed to know. "Course I got a game. Late ice time, too, so don't wait up." Keith walked out of the kitchen without a backward glance. If he'd taken a moment to look at Bonnie, he might have noticed she was holding a plate in one hand and a dish towel in the other, but had stopped doing anything with either. She appeared to be momentarily frozen. Her body had become still because her mind was racing. Keith was lying. Bonnie knew that. For the first time, she knew it as a fact, because she'd read in the weekly paper that the local rink was closed for a few days for maintenance. Is he that lazy, she thought, that he wouldn't even bother to check? Or does he think that little of me, thinks I'd never figure it out? Somehow, that was as insulting as the infidelity. For some time, Bonnie had suspected that Keith was actually playing naked hockey every Wednesday night, which is a thing, you guys. Naked hockey is totally a thing. She just didn't know who his teammate was. Man, she's really riding this metaphor. That particular missing piece of the puzzle was the reason Bonnie had let the affair carry on so long. She was sure that if she confronted Keith with the little bit she knew, he would deny everything and cover his tracks. After all, what did she have? A hunch, a suspicion, a bit of information from a source that would make him laugh if he ever found out about it. And whenever they fought, Keith had a way of twisting Bonnie's words, making her sound foolish to her own ears, until she doubted what she had earlier been so sure of. I can't risk that at this time, she told herself. I have to wait until I know. A name. That's what she needed. Things would change once she had a name, because that would be a bit of information so powerful that it wouldn't matter who had told it to her. 20 minutes later, reeking of aftershave lotion, Keith kissed Bonnie goodbye. She stood at the living room window and watched him back out of the drive, and lingered long enough to see the taillights of his car disappear around the corner at the end of the street. Then she turned off the television and walked out of the room. At the back of the highest shelf in the cluttered closet of the spare bedroom were a number of books that Bonnie had never dared to read at the dinner table. She pulled one of them out, along with a bag filled with tapered black candles and chalk. The braided area rug that dominated the sparsely furnished room was tossed into one corner. Then, using the chalk, Bonnie carefully drew a circle on the worn hardwood floor. The candles were set at regular intervals around the circle, as she fumbled with a packet of bent paper matches as she lit them, one by one. Bonnie and Keith tended to use the small spare room as a dressing area, so they'd hung two large mirrors on opposite walls facing one another. Usually, the double reflection was used for nothing more dramatic than checking the back of a hairstyle or the evenness of a hem. But that evening, as Bonnie turned out the overhead light, the mirrors created a magical illusion that the room was filled with flickering candle flames. Bonnie smiled as she took in the effect. It pleased her, but it didn't surprise her. She had created that particular ambiance once before. Bonnie was trembling with anticipation as she stepped carefully over the candles and entered the circle. She sat cross-legged in the center. Her palms began to tingle, and the gooseflesh raised up on her arms even before she began to read the chant that was used to summon. There was energy in the room. Bonnie was certain of it, and certain that she would be successful one more time. After several moments, she closed her eyes and began to call the name. Wampawama. Wampawama. Then, Mother Damnable, you know everything, and I need to know one more thing. The candles flickered all at once, their flames nearly sputtering out, then whooshing back to full bloom. Bonnie didn't see it. Her eyes remained shut. Her body swayed slowly and rhythmically. Then, suddenly, she stiffened. Bonnie stopped moving and her eyes opened wide. She met her own gaze in the wall mirror and exhaled with a shudder. like a cloud in the glass subtly superimposed over her own pale features, was the deeply lined and dark face of an ancient native woman. The image was unstable, nearly liquid at its outer edges, but there was more strength and substance than there had been the last time. More power. Bonnie smiled. She was about to find out who was Keith's mistress. Then she was going to do something about it. And the next time Keith laughed at her choice of reading material, she thought she might just tell him an interesting story. Epilogue? On her deathbed, the Huron seer named Wapoama dictated a series of prophecies that were published as a small book nearly 200 years later. The title of the volume is a short account of the old Indian witch, Wapoama, better known to the early settlers as Mother Damnable, together with her extraordinary prophecies, already partially fulfilled, concerning the future destinies of what are now Winnipeg, Manitoba, and the Great Northwest. According to John Robert Colombo's book Mysterious Canada, there are those who have interpreted Wapohama's predictions and judged them accurate. For example, she claimed that all the land west of this shall remain wild and unpeopled for 200 years. Then it shall give food to the eastern tribes of men. Around 1900, the western provinces began to produce wheat, which indeed was exported to the east. It would seem that Mother Damnable had a fairly clear vision of things to come. Well, there you go. That was Mother Damnable. Well, you know what? It wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad. I didn't expect it to end so soon like that. But I'm okay with it. What do you guys think? What if you sang the intro? Or you sang Black Betty? You don't want that. That's even scarier than the story. I swear it's just the cold Canadians and their naked hockey and their gaslighting and their maple syrup. He was a gaslighter. Fine with the naked hockey and gaslighting, but maple syrup. Canadians love maple syrup. They have maple milk mixed to chocolate milk. I've seen it and drank it. I must be the heathen. I eat my pancakes and waffles with butter, sometimes peanut butter. Not that I hate maple syrup. Could she foresee naked hockey? Needed more soap opera. Yeah, I mean, classic. The more I think about it, though, like, the more I think it's probably best if it ended there, because that puts it in our minds. Whereas if they had tried to play that out, like what's going to happen? So she's going to find out, she's going to kill him. Then she's like, it's a monkey's paw thing, right? Like she gets in trouble karmically. She has something bad happen to her because she takes revenge on him. Like that's pretty played out. So ending it there, that's not bad. I don't know. I'm okay with that actually. But Keith has to get his comeuppance. Oh, he'll get it. Mother Damnable. Oh, we'll make Damnable sure of that. All right. I wonder if that Wapohama, thanks Wapohama, is a real thing. Let's see. Wapohama. I mean, there is a book. There is a literal book called A Short Account of the Old Indian Witch Wapohama, better known to the early settlers as Mother Damnable, together with her extraordinary prophecies already partially fulfilled concerning the future destinies of what are now Winnipeg, Manitoba, and the Great Northwest. That's literally the title. It was published in 1882. No ebook available. Wow. is that something to like look up? Like, you've heard of Nostradamus. You've heard of um, oh hell, who's another prophecy? Edgar Casey. You've heard of Miss Cleo, but have you heard of Wampohama? The comeuppance was inside your mind all along. Yeah, we are the comeuppance for Keith. You're blowing my mind. All right, guys, what do you think? Werewolves, vampires, or ghosts? Which one's next? Which one is next? Sadly, the only one of these I think I've got are ghosts. Or I'd put them all up. Here, I'll let you guys think. Historical accuracy. I mean, yeah. Apparently, it's this was historical fiction. Or maybe not. Maybe that actually happened. Maybe that was the author. The author is Joanne Christensen, which could be a nom de plume. Agnes Nutter was in Good Omens. And that was a real person, wasn't it? We got one ghost. We got one werewolves. Good Omens, great book. Are you guys looking forward to the series? If you're familiar, if you haven't read Good Omens, get on it. That would be a good Audible book to get. Have you guys all read American Gods? Because you got to. You have to. You have to read American Gods. The show, well, just read it. I want to like the show. It's just one of those things. I am kind of like how American Gods was handled, so I'm excited for Good Omens. I like parts of it for sure, but it's kind of going weird places for me, in my opinion, compared to the book. But so I got one ghost, I got one werewolf. Anybody else have a vote? Asking you guys to do a lot of voting. I didn't show you, but there was a picture of Mother Damnable that was sketched in here. No spoilers, but I hate how certain characters are made to not be as cringe and mean. Yeah. Well, what's weird is what they've done with the wife. I don't think they need that. You know what? I'll go with a ghost. That was the first one that was put in there. It was the first vote. Which one? They're all of a decent length. Let's go with wife. There's one that is simply called wife. Haha, vampires. Too late. We'd have been right back at square one. Wife. This one is called. I was like, what is that sound effect? It's the book rubbing on the box I've got this sitting on. Way to go. Wife. All right. Danny Pierce shuffled through the blanket of fallen leaves that covered the cemetery and looked for a good place to sit and eat his sandwiches. It didn't take him long to find one. There was a tombstone that was just the right size to make a comfortable backrest, set in a place where he could see the road but wouldn't be too bothered by what was going on out there. What was going on the dirt road near the cemetery was a social event. In the years before the Depression, Danny thought that those same people might have gone to the movies or to dances, but as it was, they were making a night out of parking by the Tabor Cemetery and trying to catch a glimpse of its famous ghost light. A horn honked in the distance, announcing that another carload of thrill-seekers were about to join the party. Danny shook his head in dismay and eased himself down to the ground. He very, nearly, sat in someone else's lap. "Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry," he blurted, as much out of surprise as politeness. It was dark, particularly in the deep shadows cast by the trees that surrounded the small graveyard. Danny had not seen the woman who already occupied the perfect viewing seat. "Don't apologize," she said in a friendly tone. "There's plenty of room." "In hell. But perhaps we could sit side by side instead of stacking up like cordwood." She moved several inches to her right and brushed away a few twigs, clearing a place for Danny to sit. He hesitated for a moment. He hadn't really wanted company. If he had, he would have been out on the road leaning against one of the faded Model Ts and passing a jug of moonshine. Still, the woman was soft-spoken and friendly, despite the fact that he had nearly crushed her in his clumsiness. All things considered, Danny thought that sitting down would be the mannerly thing to do. "Thanks," he said, and made himself comfortable on the patch of ground next to the woman. Danny pulled the wax paper bundle that contained his supper from the front pouch of his denim overalls. "Would you like a sandwich?" he asked the woman, although in his hungry state he hoped that she would say no. When she did decline, as politely as she had offered to share her seat, he felt selfish. "Are you sure?" he urged her out of guilt. "It's bacon on fried bread. Made it myself before I walked over here." "Thank you, but I'm really not hungry," the woman smiled. It was a pretty smile, and Danny was charmed. He wiped the bacon grease from his palm on his pant leg and extended his hand. "I'm Danny Pierce," he said. The woman touched his hand with hers. Guess what? Her skin was icy cold. Danny wasn't surprised. The woman was poorly dressed for a fall evening, even the warm one that it was. Her simple black dress had sleeves that stopped at the elbow, and she hadn't bothered to put on a coat. "I'm Tom Munson's wife," she responded. "I have a boyfriend." It seemed an odd thing to say. At first, Danny wondered if it was the woman's way of telling him that, although she was sitting next to him in the cemetery, after dark, she was quite unavailable. Then he thought that she had perhaps given her husband's name as a reference, and he wondered if he knew a Tom Munson. As he rolled the name around in his mind, it did sound familiar. "Munson," Danny mused aloud. "Do I know your husband?" "I don't think so," said the woman, putting an end to Danny's theory. A sudden burst of laughter drew their attention toward what was happening out on the road. A horseman was riding by, in fury. Someone had told a joke and appeared to be in the process of telling another. A semicircle of people had gathered around to listen while they shared bottles of lemonade and ate pieces of Johnny cake, and he thought they were passing moonshine. He's the ghost, she's the ghost, they're both ghosts. Oh boy, put your bets in now, everybody. What's the over-under? "Look at 'em," Danny said with disgust. "They think it's a picnic." The woman looked at Danny with amusement, and he remembered his own package of sandwiches. "Well," he said, reddening. Blushing? Would blushing not have worked? "You know what I mean. They don't take it seriously. They all say they're here to look for the ghost slide, but how could anyone possibly see it in the middle of all that?" Danny waved his hand in the direction of the crowd. "It's true. It would be very difficult," agreed the woman, "especially with all the other lights." "That's right. That's absolutely right," said Danny, suddenly feeling he had discovered a kindred spirit. There had been many nights when he'd simply given up and walked home because of the distracting spectacle of headlights and camera flashes and the glowing red pinpoints of cigarettes being smoked in the crowd. Ah, millennials! Just then, as if on cue, a flash bulb popped in the distance. Noises of surprise and excitement erupted, followed almost immediately by embarrassed giggles. "See," said Danny. "I do," said the woman. "That's probably that reporter fella from the Leader Post," he said. "That's one of the reasons it's getting so crowded. Every time they write about the ghost lights in the papers, it seems another dozen people come out here to see it." It was true. As Danny had walked past the long line of parked vehicles that evening, he had noticed several that looked to be from farther away than Esterhazy. "Is this all Canadian? That's not an American name, right? Esterhazy?" Yes, one had Manitoba license plates on it. What the frig? Nowhere in here does this say that this is Canadian centric. No, except National Library of Canada cataloging and publication data. It says it on the info page. Hey guys, ghosts, werewolves, witches, and vampires of Canada. I still would have bought it, and I don't have anything against it. Where was it? Manitoba. One had Manitoba license plates on it. Then there'd been the shiny Chevrolet sedan that Danny was pretty sure belonged to the newspaper man. It had It had shapely fenders and chrome hubcaps. And in the midst of the pickup trucks and mud-splattered local cars, it looked like city. Why are you talking to yourself, Danny? Canadian ghost girlfriend. Canadian propaganda. All right, now I've got to switch. I've got to try and throw some Canadian. You've been coming here longer than any of them, said the woman. Well, yeah, I'm interested in the ghost slide. I want to see it, you know. I think it would be real special. So I come here all the time. I know, said the woman. How does she? Oh, watch out, you guys. It's not a party to me, Danny stressed. I know that too, said the woman. Suddenly, Danny became aware that he'd been doing most of the talking. He turned to regard his quiet companion. She looked calm and comfortable, somehow at home. Leaning against the smooth granite with her long, sturdy legs crossed at the ankles. Her long, sturdy legs? And her dress smoothed primly over her knees. Danny was curious about her. So, Tom Munson's wife, he teased her. Have you been out here before, hunting this will-o'-the-wisp? I'm here all the time, she said in her soothing voice. I haven't seen you, he said. You weren't looking for me, she explained. You were looking for the light. She pointed out toward the road, the crowded, noisy strip of dirt with that the glowing phantom orb was said to travel. Danny looked at the woman with her calm voice and her quiet manner, and he felt a true sense of camaraderie. She was so much more serious about the light, so much more reverent than the boisterous group on the road. He knew that he could ask her. Do you think, he started hesitantly, do you think that the light is the soul of someone who's buried here? Do you think that if we were to see the light, well, would it be proof, do you think, that our spirits go on? I know they do, said the woman. After a moment she added, what makes you so eager to know? Well, Danny was staring at his hands, then busily rewrapping the waxed paper around his last sandwich in precise folds. I guess everybody's curious, right? True, the woman said quietly. A heavy silence hung between them. Silent, like the grave. Then, until Danny spoke again, I had a wife, he explained. I almost had a baby daughter. The birth didn't go too well, you know. Danny paused for a moment, then he went on. His voice was different, as though something had lodged in his throat. I just think that if I see the light just once even, I'll know they've gone on to something else. I'd like to know that. He ran his hands roughly through his hair, more for the purpose of wiping his sleeves past his suddenly wet cheeks. If the woman saw, she kindly pretended not to. I could tell you that your wife and daughter are eternal, she said gently, but I know you won't believe it until you see some proof. So I'll leave you now and let you do your searching, eh? She stood up and brushed away the dried grass that clung to her dress. Danny rose too and smiled gratefully at the woman. Well, thanks, he said awkwardly. It was nice to tell someone. The woman smiled and nodded with understanding. Then she turned to leave. Goodbye, Tom Munson's wife, Danny said. The woman looked back and smiled. My name is Annabelle, she said, then turned and walked away. Danny grinned at her mistake. And what is it now? He called after her. But there was no answer. In a matter of 3 steps, the woman had been enveloped by the darkness. Danny felt weary then, and certain that the ghost light would never show up on such a crowded night. He decided to start out for home and turned to pick up the neatly wrapped leftover sandwich that he had set on the ground when he rose to bid the woman goodbye. As he did, another noisy car turned onto the shoulder of the road to park, splashing its headlights briefly across the tombstone as it did. And we all know what's on the tombstone. And then Danny understood why Tom Munson's name had sounded familiar. During his many visits to the cemetery, Danny had read each of the weathered tombstones at least once. The one against which he had been leaning stood out for its spare, undetailed epitaph. "Here lies Thomas Munson," read the first 2 lines. Below that, almost as an afterthought, were the words, "and his wife." His wife. Danny spun around, scanning the dark little cemetery for Annabelle Munson. She was not there. He looked for rustling bushes, a sign that someone was cutting through to the road or the fields beyond. There was no movement. "Annabelle?" he called out. There was no answer. Danny Pierce sat down on the dry, grassy ground beside the Munson's grave. He stayed there for several minutes, clutching his forgotten sandwich and replaying the events of the previous minutes in his mind. Eventually, because there was nothing else to do, he went home. Several days later, in Esterhazy, Letterkenny, he read a headline on the front page of the Regina Leader Post. "Dozens witness Tabor spooklight," it read. Danny was usually willing to shell out a few pennies for a copy of a paper with such a headline, but this time he walked away. He walked away whistling, in fact. The ghost light was an interesting thing, to be sure, but Danny Pierce no longer needed to see it in order to believe. Epilogue! The Tabor light is one of the most well-known and well-documented ghost lights in Canada. It's a flickering, reddish-hued ball of fire that has frequently been seen along the road that run past Tabor Cemetery near Esterhazy, Saskatchewan. Though the phenomenon has been witnessed intermittently since 1905, the light seemed to be the most active and achieved its greatest popularity in the latter part of the Depression. During that time, there would be evenings when as many as 100 people would gather along the road by the little cemetery, hoping to view the light or discover its source. Some drove from as far away as Manitoba and Ontario, a testament to the far-reaching appeal of Tabor Cemetery's seemingly unsolvable mystery. Of those who visited the cemetery, likely few knew the story of its origin. It was founded in 1903 by a group of Bohemian settlers who had become openly atheistic. What? They chose for their burial ground this desolate site, miles from any church, so that no clergyman could oversee their funerals. Many of the older headstones in Tabor Cemetery reflect the unceremonious approach to burial that these people had. Few honor their dead with more elaborate or poetic phrases, Few honor their dead with elaborate or poetic phrases, and some fail to remember them even by name. Case in point, there truly is one simple stone which marks the double grave of a particular man and the woman who is acknowledged only as his wife. Want to know how she died? My favorite. Oh boy. Letterkenny. I did not know what to expect with that show, and it grew on me like crazy. It's a fun show. This is one of their better books. Good job, Canada. I agree, Jack. I think there's some pretty good writing in this one. This is Joanne Christensen, who I know has written some of the other ones that I've read from. Which one? I think I'm not even going to try it. I've got a bunch stacked up. It's a mess. But yeah, she's written some of the other ones. And I'm enjoying the stories. I think they're pretty good, actually. Author of several best-selling ghost story books, explores the dark territory where legend meets life. Here she weaves a series of compelling stories, each one inspired by a disturbing true tale, each one guaranteed to draw you in and make you shiver. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to like take one little tidbit of real life and then um, make a little short story around it. Good on her. Um, I like how it's story than history. Yeah, it's fun. This is a good find. The women everywhere rolled their eyes. Yeah, she died of death. She she died to death. She died of being killed to death. She died because she could never go on without her husband. Oh, puke. One more. What do you think? One more, since they're good ones. Um, that one was Ghost one. And that one was what basically happened. And then we're like, wait a minute. Oh, no. No. Um, I was with Sammy. I thought maybe it was they were both gonna be dead, but they didn't know it. That's kind of the twist I was looking for. But classic old she was dead. Yep. Righto. R said vampire. All right, let's do a vampire one then. Since you said wamp here. Oh, let me say. Okay. Oh, I had a question for you guys, and I'm just now remembering. Um, so I signed up to do this affiliates thing for Amazon, right? So what happens is if I put a product, if I search for a product on Amazon, I grab a link to it, and then I put it out there in the world, and I say, "Hey, do you guys want this product XYZ, whatever it is? Could be anything, book, game, something." And I say, "If you buy it through this link, then I get a high five from it." I don't even know how much I get, um, but it's one of those things that's sort of like audible. I don't think it's quite as good. I think I just get like a cut of it, 5-10% maybe. I don't know. Nobody's done it yet, so I don't know how it works. But the problem is Amazon sent me an email the other day and was like, you haven't sold anything with through your affiliate links or anything. So if you don't sell anything within like 30 days or something, we're gonna kick you off the program. And I think I think it could work. I think if I find the right stuff and I'm like, hey guys, look at this, this could be a cool thing to have. Then surely there's people that are on Amazon would want to buy it through there, and I don't think anybody would mind using my link. Um, what do you guys think? Does that sound like something? Some if let me put it this way: if I started like posting on Facebook and I was like, "Hey, here's a case in point, a board game called Cryptid," and I actually have this, and I've played it, but you can buy it on Amazon, right? If I were to be like, "Hey, thought you guys might like this. It's a board game. It's in this realm. It's fun. If you guys think you like it, follow this link, and I'll get a little high five from it. You'll be getting a cool product, and you'll be helping me out." Is that douchey? Is that is that a dumb thing to do? Do you think people would get really angry if I started like pushing products here and there like that? It wouldn't be like I wouldn't be doing it like 5 times a day or something. It might be like once every other day or once a day at most, and I don't even think I would have the wherewithal to do that. But do you guys think that's something I should try to get into? I would to help you out. It's like pennies, but it helps. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But if you get enough people on there, it might happen. It might add up anyway. Other podcasts have used the same thing, but then Amazon pulled their funding because they mentioned on their show that they were getting kickbacks. Like, why? That's what the whole friggin' thing is for. Well, Amazon's not going to know that I mentioned this to you guys. This is between us. But if maybe I do a post, and I'm just like, hey, buy it through this link or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's. I'll read up on the rules and see. I think that would be awesome. Give it a try. I have no problem. Okay. Lots of true crime shows I listened to got cut off. That's so weird. I thought you had to mention you were getting kickbacks, like by law, affiliate marketing type thing. I don't know. I don't understand why they would get so mad that you would be getting kickbacks. You know what I mean? Like, why else would you be? Does Amazon really think that people would be like, oh my God, you guys, you've got to use Amazon. It's just so great. Just get everything that you need through Amazon, and I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart, and also because I'm a little bit crazy. Is that what they think people are gonna do? Come on. Ugh. Like a sponsored post. Maybe you think that's it? Like they might consider it sponsored or something. That's what everybody said, but apparently you can't say you're getting money out of it. If it doesn't work, you can end it. That's true. I mean, they're threatening to end it anyway, so like the gold medal beer stuff way back. You remember that? Oh my gosh, what a stupid thing. Like, I was trying anything, and that didn't work at all. I know Insta models have to add a sponsored by post to any ad type post. Yep, no one understood what was going on, but it happened. I'll try it. Roxanne's been helping me find some products for it, so there's some really, really fun stuff. And I mean, it's even stuff like Bigfoot socks. Like, I would put up like, hey guys, check out these Bigfoot socks. They're pretty fun. If you want to buy it, follow this link to get it. I mean, if Amazon's got a problem with that, all right, well, since you were going to kick me off anyway, cheers. Deuces. Mustache wax. Hey, that's not a bad idea. I do have some wax. I need some, so that would work. I would get you a kickback for advice. Okay. Okay, cool. I'd be interested in Roxanne's curated products. She sent me a list. I asked her, like, what do you think Blue Reavers would like? She's like, I'll take a look. She sent me like a 2.5 page list of awesome stuff. And oh my God, I told her, I was like, I'm going to just end up buying all this stuff myself. Like, what is this? There is Spring Hill Jack Coffee Company. All right. They have different flavors. One of them is High Strangeness. One of them is the Reanimator. One of them is oh man, there's a third one. No, yeah, there's a third one. I can't remember. And then the fourth one is Black Phillip. Black Phillip flavored. I'm definitely. So the problem is I can't use my own links to get stuff. So either I'm going to have to find a friend and like tell them I'll give them the money to get it for me, or I'm just going to have to like create a new Amazon account and get all this stuff myself. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that is one of them. I'm gonna put up that little Nessie ladle. Have you seen that? It's like it's a soup ladle, but then it's like a little Nessie head and kind of body. I'd buy it for you. Well, thank you, Muerto. You're too kind. Yeah, she found some really fun stuff, and then like I said, there's the cryptid game. There's an Illuminati like trivia game. Apparently, that sounds fun. I could probably find that Illuminati card game that I talked about on that extra sode that one time. Emily has that ladle. That's fun. Is it good? Is it a worthwhile product to have, or is it just kind of like gimmicky? Because it's awfully cute, and I don't know if I don't know if stuff like that is manufactured well or if it's just for looks. But that's one of the ones I would like to put up there. But if you guys have any ideas, or if you ever have a product or anything that you think, there goes my 401k. If you ever have a product you think that like a lot of people would like and want to do, send it my way. Like Facebook message me, let me know. I'm pretty sure I can just link to almost any product on Amazon. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've done it for a couple of books from the past episodes, maybe Deglaka, but I know for sure it was the one before that. Maybe it was Irish Vampires. I listed one on something, but did I tell you guys I bought 2 books? Oh, look. I've got them right friggin' here. I've got one of them right friggin' here. Where's that other one? I bought this book, Celtic Vampire Legends, Bloody Irish. I got it just for that episode. First of all, there's 4 stories in it that are like 1,000 pages long each. Second of all, it's fiction. It's all like made up by Bob Curran, who is actually a folklorist and knows his stuff. Fiction. Couldn't use it. Unusable. Got another book. I think I got that on a Kindle. That's why I don't have it in my hand. But got another book. Same thing. Like, basically, it had more history to it, but it was basically like, here's Bram Stoker who wrote about these things. Here's, what's his name? Fano, Le Fanu, or whatever the guy's name was. Couldn't use any of them for the Irish vampire stuff. I was so disappointed. Anyway, if you guys like one of those books, I'll give you a link or whatever. Had that ladle, my dog ate it. What your dogs were cooking, everybody. I like it because it stands up. That's a good point. It's got the little nubby legs, right? So that's fun. We can all buy it and play the game live. You know, it might be possible. If everybody, that's an interesting concept. Just everybody have the same setup and watch it. I've played Magic the Gathering with Zinger from Zing This on Skype. I think it's possible. I always buy books through Astonishing Legends links, so books would not be a bad idea. Well, there you go. I saw that they were doing it, and that's why I kind of wanted to start putting some stuff out there too. I figured books would be a good way, like gateway to do it that people might like. So yeah, maybe and maybe I'll just start pushing the fun other products too, and just see. New Patreon reward, Magic with Flora. Yeah, oh boy, you'd have to wait till it gets to Australia though. Oh yeah, there's that, isn't it? Yeah, how would that work? Are you guys just are you just out of luck on that stuff? That's kind of shitty, right? Is there an Australian Amazon? That's what a dumb question. I would have to go through the whole rigmarole of setting that up too. Getting that on there. That's tough. It's tough to do the international stuff. I mean, I say that because I feel bad for you guys, but shoot, you guys, it's going on 9. We ought to call it a night. Maybe this has been a good find. So this has been why am I doing this? Pretty spooky and pretty fun too, and not poorly written at all. I don't know if it's very much this stuff, but It's not as bad as some of those others. Let's call it, and then yeah, we'll save these stories for the next time. We'll know that this is at least uh, a good source to pull from. Let's see. What have I got in here that we haven't heard much? Anyways, affiliate links. There you go. Affiliates. Nathan affiliate. Not a bookshop. We just pay heaps in postage. It takes 2 weeks to arrive, but not out of the question. Well, maybe if it's that coffee. That coffee might be worth it. I'll try it and tell you guys. Thank you again for the shout out early on, Flora. Oh, of course, Obscure Anomalies is Muerto's podcast. So if you guys are looking for more shows, he just launched it. So there you go. All right, let's call it there. I'll give you a big old thanks. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I tip my hat to you. You guys are great. It's always fun talking to you. Let's see. So go listen to week 3. See what you think. I'll put out that review episode. You guys, it sounded like you were on board with that. And then we'll see about getting together a Royal Rumble, maybe towards the fall. Excuse me, or something in there. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks, everybody. Cheers. Let's see. Which button am I looking for? Where is it? Oh, it's Harry Potter. That's why. Boosh! All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thanks. You guys are the best. Thanks. Bye. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye, Harry Potter. See you guys later. Bye. Bye, everybody. See you. Good night. Happy Memorial Day. Bye. Take it easy. Let me know if you have any products. Facebook message me. Bye. See you guys later. Bye. See you. See you later. Take it easy.